All right, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for all being here. Like always, if you guys can, please hit that one if you can hear me. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you guys for being here. At NAM, we got Jennifer Lopez. We got J Lo. Is that the actual J Lo in the hazy? We have Terry G2G, Tyler Mommy, Heather, Kathy. Appreciate you guys for all being here. If you guys can, smash that thumbs up. And if you can, hit one. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I am looking at the chat, and for some reason it's not moving. Don't know why. There it is. Okay. We got it. So before we get into this video, I need one person and one person only who can speak Spanish fluently to join on the stream. You don't have to be here the whole time, but we need you to translate what Jaqueline's attorney is talking about. No. These are actual attorneys. Attorneys. But we need one person. If anybody in this lobby can speak Spanish fluently, I really need you to join on this stream. And if we can't get somebody, we'll still go on with the video as well. But you guys know, okay, we have Mama Cinco. I'm going to share the link. Just one person, please join for now. Mama Cinco, I'm going to share the link. If you can, please click the link and come on in. Boom, here it comes right now. All you have to do is press that link I just shared. Join the panel. And then I'll bring you here to the front with me. And then we need you to translate what's being said. So what I'll do is we'll let it play a little bit. And then I'll pause it and then have you translate if you can, please. The hell was that? So I know everybody is, I'll get into that in a second. Let's just see if we can get Mama Cinco in here. Mama Cinco, come on in. You guys keep in mind that it's strictly about the boys, okay? I hope nobody, gets mad with me and say, hey, well, we want to know everything. We need to know everything right now. I can't. If I could, I would. All right, Mama Cinco just came in. Hey, Mama Cinco, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you. How about all of you?
Are you ready? You guys, make sure you let Mama Cinco know. Thank you for coming in here to do this for us. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to take a look at their defense attorneys. So what I'll do is, like, when we get to her part, I'll just let it play a little bit, and then I'll pause it. Then you can just, translate if you can, please.
Okay.
All right, awesome. All right, here we go. Let's hit play.
All right, we'll get started. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us here today. My name is Tim Hennessy. I'm lead counsel for Mr. Trezel West. Associated counsel with me will be Joshua Fleshman. He's not present at this moment. Here with me also is Alexia Torres Stallings. She represents Ms. Jaqueline West. And Associated counsel for Ms. Jaqueline West will be Ms. Fatima Rodriguez, here present to my left. This will be the only time defense counsel will be addressing the media, making statements about the case until after the trial. We won't be answering any questions here today. We won't be discussing any facts of the case. Our clients, we've spoken to them about this. They're behind this.
Can you guys all hear this stream pretty good? Can you guys all hear what's being said right now? I have my headphones on, and it seems like I'm only getting the guy coming out the right side of my headphone, not the left side. So I just want to make sure you guys can all hear. Thank you for those super chats. I do appreciate you. Thank you for doing that. Okay, here we go.
They understand our need to getting our side out. Last week, our clients, Mr. and Mrs. West, were arraigned on an indictment of 5 counts, including second-degree murder, and that came as a result of a grand jury convene. There's been great confusion we've seen about the difference here between a grand jury and a trial jury, and the two of those things could not be more different. First, the standard of proof is lower for a grand jury. They need to only determine probable cause, which is one of the lowest legal standards our system holds. They also do not require a unanimous vote by the jurors. The prosecution also has broad discretion in determining how to proceed and doing so by way of indictment. The grand jury process lacks a crucial and important role of our criminal justice system, and that is the accused and their counsel being present during. There's no opportunity to cross-examine any witnesses, and it is basically ran by the district attorney. This is to the detriment of the accused, as evidence of a speculative nature has a way of integrating itself into this most secretive of all legal proceedings. On the other hand, a trial by jury, they must unanimously agree on the issue of guilt or not guilty. And there you have the highest standard of proof, which is beyond a reasonable doubt, and it is a proceeding done in open court. The state's comment and reliance on this "we have proved" to a grand jury is mere rhetoric. It's used as an insurance to bolster a lopsided indictment. Comments such as this have no place in an actual court of law, where it is 12 individuals who unanimously decide the outcome of this case based on this highest level of burden of proof, which is beyond a reasonable doubt. Statements that have been used by the Kern County District Attorney in her press conference tend to invoke a tidal wave of emotion towards finding guilt, whether substantiated or not, and this will taint a local jury pool and could deny our clients a chance at a fair trial. It's odd that the office held their press conference, made a series of comments which both mis- and disinformed the public, then the following day came and requested a gag order to stop the defense from having an ability to make similar comments. This action is disingenuous, but may also cause change for a change of venue in the future. This is an election year, and this case is serving as a compass to guide the DA to her path of re-election. However, it is now when...
So in other words, what he's saying, you guys are smart. What he's saying is that they pretty much rushed, sloppy arrests. He might as well just say that. And because it's a political year, and that's the only reason why the district attorney has made this arrest.
The misleads and theater end, and the constitutional protections begin. The safeguards of the accused and the fight to preserve those for Trezel and Jaqueline West begin now. And I thank you.
All right, here we go. I'm going to be pausing the video when she talks. Okay, you ready for this, Ms. Cinco?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Buenas tardes a todos. Gracias por acompañarnos a nuestra conferencia de...
Okay, what'd she say?
She said, "Good evening. Thank you for joining us in this conference."
prensa conjunta. Primeramente, me gustaría comenzar presentando a los abogados.
She said,
go.
"First, I'd like to take the time to present the lawyers."
Okay. Okay, here we go.
Timothy Hennessy, el abogado principal para señor West. Joshua Fleshman, abogado asociado con señor West. Y yo, Alexia Torres Stallings, abogada principal de la señora Jaqueline Martinez West.
Okay, so she just basically introduced
Yes.
everybody right now, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, you ready?
Yes.
Fátima Rodríguez, abogada asociado de la señora West. Esta será la única vez que los abogados defensores se dirigirán a los medios de comunicación.
Okay.
She's just repeating what the first spokesperson
Almost the
was
same
saying.
thing
Yeah.
as the first guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's what she's just doing it for the Latin news. What are they called? Networks, I guess.
Okay.
Hasta después del final de juicio. No responderemos a ninguna pregunta hoy después de la conferencia.
Okay, what she say there?
She said that they won't be answering any questions after the conference.
Okay.
Tenga en cuenta que hemos hablado con nuestros clientes que están al tanto de la conferencia de hoy
And that
That they've talked to their clients and their clients are aware of the conference that's being held today.
okay. So it's basically is the same thing he said.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
exactly the same, just for I guess the Latin news
Okay.
show. Yeah.
So you guys all hear that, right? So she's basically saying the exact same thing as the first guy, but she's just doing it for the Latin news service that's there.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, here we go.
tampoco discutiremos ninguno de los hechos relacionados con el caso. Comentarios como estos no tienen, perdóname. La semana pasada, el señor y señora West fueron procesados por una acusación.
What did she say there?
She said that last week the West were arrested because of this situation.
Okay, thank you.
De 5 cargos, incluyendo asesinato en segundo grado como resultado de una reunión del gran jurado. Existe una gran confusión entre los dos jurados de juicio y los gran jurados, y los dos no podrían ser más diferentes. Primero, el estándar de prueba es más bajo.
She's still saying basically the same thing.
Yeah, she's saying exactly the same, that
5
that
charges
you
or
don't need,
something.
you don't need like the probable cause and so forth with the jury or the grand jury. The same thing the first gentleman spoke, she's just saying, translating it
Repeating the
in
exact
Spanish.
same thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
exact same thing.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to double check. Okay.
Un gran jurado, necesitando solo determinar la causa probable. Uno de los estándares.
I'll tell you what. If you hear something that doesn't sound the same, just tell me to pause it and I'll pause it.
Okay.
Okay. So you guys keep in mind everything she's saying is exactly what the first guy said in English as of now.
Más abajos de prueba tampoco requieren unanimidad. La Fiscalía tiene amplia discrecionalidad para determinar proceder a través de la acusación. Este proceso carece de un papel crucial y importante del sistema de justicia. Al acusado y sus abogados no están presentados durante el procedimiento y los abogados defensores no tuvieran la oportunidad de entregar a los testigos de la fiscalía. En detrimento de los acusados, la prueba de naturaleza especulativa tiene una forma de congregarse con el más secreto de todos los procedimientos legales. Por otro lado, un juicio por jurado debe acordar unánimemente la cuestión de culpable o no culpable por el más alto nivel de prueba más allá de una duda razonable y hacerlo en juicio abierto al público. El comentario del Estado demostraremos al gran jurado es pura retórica, utilizado como garantar por refrescar su acusación desigual. Comentarios como estos no tienen cavidad.
All of this is the same still?
Mm-hmm.
It seems like she's talking a lot longer than he did.
She's talking a lot longer, and the translator is not a very good one.
Okay.
En el verdadero tribunal y justicia, donde 12 personas que le deben decir por unanimidad el resultado de este caso sobre la base del cargo mayor de la prueba más allá de una duda.
Well, just for good faith measures, what was she saying, like right there?
She's saying that they're necessarily you don't need to have a 12 person jury in the way they're handling it. What is it called again? The form that they're
the indictment?
Yes.
Okay.
They don't have to have a 12-person jury, that they don't have to have, like, you know, the proof, like the bodies and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
But in other words, you know, I'm just
see.
just
So
giving.
they haven't actually been given. I guess they'll get, you know, some more, you know, evidence, whatever, a little bit later. But they're basically like making it their defense. So of course they're gonna sit there and make it seem like these folks are innocent. That's what the defense is supposed to do. The state has to prove their guilt. They don't have to prove their innocence. The state has to prove their guilt. You know what I mean? So that's basically what they're talking about right now.
Yeah.
Razonable. Declaraciones como la utilizada por la fiscal de distrito el condado de Kern en su conferencia de prensa tienden a evocar un holo de emoción hacia la culpable, y sea fundamentado o no, que marcha el grupo de jurados locales y niega a nuestros clientes un juicio justo. Eso extraño que la oficina celebrar una conferencia de prensa.
So what she say there?
She's saying that that they're working on seeing if they will get a fair trial, because that there's a lot of emotion with this case.
Okay. So they're probably going to try to everybody in the chat, they're most likely going to, I don't know where the hell they're going to send them to, what district, but they're going to try to change the district somehow, because of all the emotions and everything that's involved and blah, blah, blah. They'll try it.
Hiciera una serie de comentarios que desinformen y desinformen al público, y luego el día siguiente envía a su abogado a la corte en busca de un orden de mortalidad.
And that there?
I didn't understand the last what she said because
I'm gonna rewind it a little bit. I mean,
okay.
she's making all those faces and stuff like that, so it seems like it's something important, maybe.
Serie de comentarios que desinformen y desinformen al público.
Oh wait, it's still ahead. Hold on.
Y luego el día siguiente envía a su abogado a la corte en busca de un orden de mortalidad.
That part.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Mortaza, I don't understand that word. But the first part is she's saying that there somebody went to the court to get documents, and that the next day then the following day, that's what she said, mortaza to me. Murder
Some,
charges, maybe. That's the way I'm translating it.
yeah, that's some. Well, she doesn't say who. She says somebody
Yeah,
went to the court
yeah,
to get
yeah,
documents.
yeah. She said letters before. What did she say? CD or
I don't know. That's why I need a
the
damn
letters?
translator.
Yeah.
She
No, there
said
was some
something.
letters. She said in English though, some letters
Oh,
prior.
okay.
So if you
Okay.
go back,
All right, let's go back. How
okay,
far back? Just a little bit, or
like you did last time.
okay. Let's try right here.
A celebrar una conferencia de prensa. La culpable y sea fundamentado o no que marcha el grupo de jurados locales y niega a nuestros clientes un juicio justo. Eso extraño que la oficina celebrar una conferencia de prensa hiciera una serie de comentarios
That part, the
Yeah,
CDA,
CDA,
CDA.
que desinformen y desinformen al público. Y luego, el día siguiente, envía a su abogado a la corte en busca de un orden de mortalidad. Esta acción no solo es insincero, sino que también puede crear una causa para un cambio de sitio en el futuro. Este es un año electoral y este caso sirve como la estrella norte que guía la fiscal hacia su camino de reelección. Sin embargo, aquí es donde terminan las trampas y el teatro.
So the only thing that I could find, that CDA thing, I just Googled it right now. You guys could, I just Googled like, what does CDA mean in the court? And it came up with Communications Decency Act.
So what she was saying was that that they wouldn't get a fair trial,
Mm-hmm.
and that the news conference that had gone, when they came out with the news conference, that it was misleading, misguiding, and and then they go forth to in Morta. I think that's the murder charges, and the next day they send a lawyer. So I'm guessing she's referring to the other, counsel, the other lawyers, group of lawyers, that they're misleading everybody's, opinion, I guess, to what's going on.
So she's talking about
Like a fair
district
trial.
attorney.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Just that
Do
her
you guys,
Spanish is not, her Spanish is just a little off. So some of the wording is not, really I can't translate it
it's not making
on
sense.
point because it's a little different. Her Spanish is a little different.
Okay. So she's basically saying the same thing as the first guy. Do you guys
Yes.
think we should just skip over a little bit, get past her because she's not really making a lot of sense, right?
Yeah, no, she's just basically saying, that we all know the story for over a year. That's what she said. And that the clients might not be getting their fair trial here.
Okay. All right.
And she
So
said that the North Star or something about the North Star. So I
the
don't know if they're
North
going to try to take it north,
the
I
North
don't know.
Star. What do you
That's what
mean?
she said.
What does
That's
that
what she
mean?
said. I don't know.
How exactly did she say it?
She said La Estrella Norte. So that's the North Star.
What does that got to do with anything?
If you rewind it a little bit, I could just a little bit, not too far, just like 5
Okay.
seconds.
All right. Okay. Hold on. Here we go. Let me see. About right here. Let's try it.
Es donde terminan las trampas y el teatro y comienzan las protecciones y las salvaguardas, constituciones de señor West y señora West, los acusados. Muchas gracias.
A little bit
no.
more back.
Yeah, a little bit more back.
Okay.
Puede creer una casa para un cambio de sitio en el futuro. Este es un año electoral y este caso sirve como la estrella norte que guía la fiscalía.
That part?
Yeah, the Estrella Norte que guía. So that means the North Star that guides.
Una casa para un cambio de sitio en el futuro. Este es un año electoral y este caso sirve como la estrella norte que guía la fiscal hacia su camino de reelección.
So the North Star that guides.
That guides the year of the re-election. That's what it said.
So they're trying to basically say that this is only happening because of the election.
Yeah.
What?
So that's kind of what he said too. So
Okay. All right, let's you can stay in here if you like to. Let's skip over to the next one. I appreciate you doing that. Thank you for doing that.
You're
Means
welcome.
a lot. Yep, thank you. Okay, here we go, guys.
So, just for like the common layperson,
Sure.
Can you explain the difference between finding having probable cause in order to pass an indictment and the beyond a reasonable doubt? Just could you explain that a little bit further?
I mean, generally speaking, yes. So generally speaking, probable cause is the standard kind of being used day to day by law enforcement on whether or not to make an arrest. Right.
Okay.
That is is there a probability something here happened? Okay. Beyond a reasonable doubt is like that probably happened. Right. I mean that I don't have my calculator in front of me, but it's the idea that that it is more probable that is
I gotta hear something
probability something here happened. Okay. Beyond a reasonable doubt is like that probably happened. Right? I mean that I don't have my calculator in front of me, but it's the idea that that it is more probable than not that the guilt of this offense has been proven. Right. The question is not should or not this person be arrested, and that's where we're at now. It was there enough for these charges to be brought? But the highest standard beyond a reasonable doubt, that's far off. That's so far from where we're at now. But because we hear jury, we hear grand jury, trial jury, there's this general sense to think, well, they must have proven this. This must have been proven beyond reasonable doubt. And that is not what happened. That is not what a grand jury is. A grand jury is a way to bring charges, much like how we have preliminary hearings all day, every day in the downtown courthouse. That's the same thing to get you in the same place.
Okay.
They're two wildly different things, a grand jury and a trial jury.
Will you have a prelim?
I didn't know if you wanted me to. Did you want me to answer that in Spanish as well?
I
don't know if
Yeah.
Okay. So, la causa probable es el más abajo forma de los estándares. So, por ejemplo, es cuando la policía hay arrestado una persona es el más abajo, lo más abajo. Y para las standard de duda de razonable es más alta. So, por ejemplo, no es probablemente
Are these the same attorneys that was actually in the courtroom that day with Trezel and Jaqueline? I don't think so. Like there was another one. I don't know. We'll go back and look.
no es posiblemente, pero es más alta de esos. Okay? Más alta de probablemente, más alta de posiblemente.
Any sense of the timeline when you guys hope to move forward with the trial? Or is it still up in the air, depending on the information you guys have provided?
That's difficult considering the stage we're at right now. As far as what we know and need to prepare for, I do know that our position as well as our clients is to be vindicated as soon as possible.
Where do you guys stand on the gag order tomorrow and why?
So I can answer that in English and then I'll go back. So we are going to be joining in the request for the gag order for a number of reasons. We do not want more misinformation to be spread before the jury trial. There has been very, very few number of cases that have had the opportunity to have a change of venue granted. I believe that there was one, not recently, but I believe that it came back on the Robert Mistriel trial, I believe was one of them. And so in order to ensure that our jury pool here isn't tainted, we are going to be joining on that gag order as well. ¿Quiere que yo decir eso en español?
And that
también?
was
Okay.
denied.
So nosotros queremos.
Hey, I have a question, guys. Hold on. Here's the thing. Do they actually believe that if they transfer this case to another town or district, that people are not going to know about it? There's people everywhere that knows about what happened to the boys. I don't know.
El orden también, porque no hay muchos casos aquí en Kern County donde hay una
It proceeded by way of grand. No, there won't be a prelim because that is what the grand jury accomplished. So rather than proceed to prelim, it proceeded by way of grand jury, which is fine. It's an option, but it is to think that it is somehow superior or has proven more or means more, that's inaccurate.
When you guys say change of venue, could you just be a little bit more clear? What do you mean by that?
So if we go back to the trial that I cited earlier, that the the incident took place here in Kern County, but the attorneys were able to prove in court that a significant portion of the people in Kern County were aware of the case and essentially argued that the jury pool would have.
Do they actually think that if they move the case to 3 or 4 cities over, that we're not going to get in our cars to drive to them courts 3 or 4 cities over? What's wrong with these people?
Would have already made up their mind had they decided to stay here. Again, these are not granted often, but it is something that we may be able to do considering the large amount of coverage that that this case has garnered.
So basically, it would just be arguing it in a different district type of thing.
Right. Same trial, just in a different county.
Well,
También para en español. So, en el orden para cambiar el sitio, no hay muchos casos aquí que eso es la realidad. Entonces, nosotros estamos diciendo que es posible para cambiar el jurado porque, por ejemplo, hay muchas personas aquí en Kirk County que either sabíamos o tenemos una opinión de este caso. Por ejemplo, es más mejor para pedir a la corte para cambiar el county, pero es el mismo jurado.
And to clarify, are you guys saying the DA went the grand jury route for political reasons?
So in viewing the press conference, I believe that she had indicated that they went the press conference route for some reasons that may have dealt with scheduling purposes. Although that can happen, there is also something that council can agree to in order to allow the prelim to be continuous. She did state that there were a lot of high-profile cases in which they have chosen to go by way of indictment. Between Mr. Hennessy and our law firm, we were thinking of a couple of our high-profile cases, and those ones have not gone by way of indictment.
How come she didn't say the public defender's office? This is an actual law firm.
What challenges does this sort of present to you guys? You mentioned you guys have had these kinds of high-profile cases, but what sort of barriers are you guys now presented with? I mean, obviously, there's the change in venue. Any other challenges that you guys are sort of facing and working through right now?
I would say in comparison to other cases, and I think one of the reasons why I wanted to speak today on behalf of Mr. West is the public's response to a lot of this has made it seem like it's a done deal. Like, why would you take this case? Why would you represent this person? He was found by this jury already. And to us, that's detrimental to the defense. That's like the fundamental purpose of this is innocent until proven guilty. And people are telling me, hey, it's a done deal. We saw it on the news. We heard it. A jury found him guilty. They proved it to a jury already. And to us, that's the most detrimental thing.
You guys just heard that? You guys heard what he said? Listen real good. Listen real good, guys.
That's like the fundamental purpose of this.
Listen real good.
I would say in comparison to other cases, and I think one of the reasons why I wanted to speak today on behalf of Mr. West is the public's response to a lot of this has made it seem like it's a done deal. Like, why would you take this case? Why would you represent this person? He was found by this jury already. And to us, that's detrimental to the defense. That's like the fundamental purpose of this is innocent until proven guilty. And people are telling me, hey, it's a done deal. We saw it on the news. We heard it. A jury found him guilty. They proved it to a jury already. And to us,
who's the people that's telling them that? Who's the people that's telling them, hey, it's a done deal?
Until proven guilty. And people are telling me, hey, it's a done deal. We saw it on the news. We heard it. A jury found him guilty. They proved it to a jury already. And to us, that's the most detrimental thing. Because this has to be a jury of people ready to sit, listen, do their job, hear the evidence, make a decision. And if the whole community already thinks that's a done deal, no one's going to show up and take this seriously, then we've lost already. And that is the point today, is to make it clear what it is that was done and what still has to be done before you want to convict our clients.
Mm-hmm. Y también cuando leer los comentarios de, por ejemplo, YouTube o de la media, también hay muchos comentarios que...
And now here she is talking about YouTube. All of us YouTubers.
Leer los...
Can you let everybody know exactly what she says right here, if you can, please?
Yes.
Comentarios de, por ejemplo, YouTube o de la media, también hay muchos comentarios que personas están diciendo que ellos están culpables porque necesitan un jurado, porque un gran jurado ya dice que ellos son culpables. Entonces, esa es la razón que nosotros piensan que esta conferencia es más importante para correctar las palabras, los estatutos de la fiscal.
Okay, go ahead.
So she's saying that the conference that they're having today is important because the YouTube, the media has already said they're guilty. About the grand jury, and they just want, you know, to have a fair trial.
Okay. We're almost done here with this video, guys. Just give us a few more, and I'm gonna talk to you guys about a couple things.
What if you did it in a normal way, the normal trial, would you still take the case?
I'm so sorry, I didn't understand the
If they
question.
did it the normal way, that they did in a regular trial, like normally, would you guys still defend these people?
Yeah. Right. There's still innocent to proven guilty.
No, I
Doesn't- yeah,
understand.
yeah. No, and it doesn't matter if that's a grand jury putting charges or a holding order at a prelim. I'd still taking the case. I just want the ground we're working with now for everyone to understand that we're in the same place had they been held to answer at a preliminary hearing.
Sí, porque es muy raro para hacer este tipo de audiencias. Es raro para hacer este tipo de audiencias y también, like my counsel was saying, que ellos son inocentes ahora.
Can you guys confirm this case is being worked? Are you guys pro bono?
It
Is
is-
that what's going on?
It is not. So we are appointed through the Indigent Defense Panel. That is.
Oh,
a,
okay. There it is. There, she just cleared it up. So they are not pro bono. She says it right here, guys.
You guys confirm this case is being worked? Are you guys pro bono?
See, a lot of people thought pro bono. That got out there too. I even heard that it was pro bono. So here they are clearing it up.
It
Is
is-
that what's going on?
It is not. So we are appointed through the Indigent Defense Panel. That is a program that is run through the Kern County Bar Association. And so that is how we have been appointed to the case.
And you guys are requesting a change of venue.
I think that's something we have to discuss further and see where we're at. I think the concern is that is where we end up, and we'd like to avoid that if we could. It should stay in Kern County. It's Kern County's people. So, but that being said, I think it's something that we are aware of and paying attention to.
In establishing sort of like the timeline that you guys are going to be working with your, and speaking to your clients as well, were you guys able to establish when exactly the West moved to California City?
I think that that's a little bit beyond the realm that we would like to discuss here today. We definitely do not mind talking procedure, but that's a little bit over what we wanted to discuss. Thank you.
You guys also said that there was some stuff that Ms. Zimmer said at her press conference that was like a little emotional, tugging at those strings. Could you talk specifically what were the stuff that she said that really struck you as that?
It's not to say that this is not going to be an emotional case. However, we did believe that there was some phrasing that was used that to a lay person implicates one thing, but to an attorney or to many attorneys implicates another. When we hear stuff like we proved to the grand jury, they were convinced, they believed, that isn't the standard in which they make their finding. And so to us, it was to more clarify that that isn't the standard. That isn't to say that the grand jury aren't humans and that they obviously can't make up their own mind. It's just that that's not the same standard in which we know the standard to be.
And then one last question, just more of like if a person isn't a lawyer, a gag order, when is that implemented? What's sort of the standard that has to be met there for a judge to be like, yes, we're going to go forward with this?
I would say the request of a gag order is relatively routine in a high profile case. I don't think there's anything out of the ordinary in requesting it. I think the only thing that didn't sit necessarily right with us was a press conference comes out and then they want to place a gag order. And I think to us it was like, well, we should also have our opportunity to address exactly what we've done here, how we see it differently. But other than that, not talking about the case, because the reason why then I think Alexia talked about this is kind of the essence here is We want jurors who are going to sit and hear the evidence, how it's supposed to be presented. Let this play out. I mean, this is one of the fundamental things our society has is trial by jury, and it needs to stay pure and be what it should be. And that be 12 unbiased jurors listening to the evidence, making a decision. The minute that starts to seep into the jury pool and things change, that's our concern. We just want to get it now. So that's why tomorrow we would agree with the gag order.
There is currently, also a lawsuit that the county has placed on the West for, are you guys sort of going to tackle that lawsuit as well? Are you guys going to represent them on that litigation as well? Or is that going to complicate this for you guys a little bit?
So the answer to that right now would be no. It was my understanding that the lawsuit, the civil lawsuit, is filed by the biological father.
There's another one. So the county, the West, are facing like a child support lawsuit, I believe, for the other children.
Okay.
So there's the biological one, but then there's also the one.
They're talking about the lawsuit that's being filed by the bio.
So the county, the West, are facing like a child support lawsuit, I believe, for the other children.
Okay.
So there's the biological one, but then there's also the one by the county.
And you're not referring to a dependency issue?
It is the dependency one.
Okay. Then in that case, we do not represent them in that particular matter. They actually have other attorneys who have also been court appointed through the Indigent Defense Program who represent them in that matter. That is not to say that we aren't working together. It's just that we aren't representing them on that matter.
It's almost over.
We're good.
Okay, thank you so much. I was
One last
just gonna
question.
say, should tomorrow's motion for the gag order, should it be denied? Would that change your guys' stance, or do you think it would change your client's stance on further commenting on the details of this case?
Like you mean,
Like
sorry,
public, in the beginning, you said that this would be, at this time, the only time you plan on addressing media and questions regarding the case. Tomorrow, should the gag order be denied and details come out before the trial or throughout the trial, would you guys consider readdressing media at that point?
So I think that at this point, if the prosecution and the defense are going to be joining in that motion, I don't necessarily see it being denied. The reality is that whether or not it is or is not denied, it would still be in our best interest to at least just wait until the trial. We don't want to use the potential motion for change of venue as a sword and a shield. We want to be able to articulate that motion if necessary and have it granted again, if necessary, not by our own doing. So I think that regardless if it were or were not to be granted, we would still be abiding by the silence until the end of trial.
This agency you're talking about, did they come to you or did you go to them to take on this case?
The agency.
The indigent defense panel, it assigned us. I mean, we were available for appointment.
It did, but I will note that we are asked if we would like to take on a case, specifically Mr. Hennessy and I, and we did choose to take this on.
Sorry, just to go back again to the change of venue question, you guys did say you guys have to discuss it a little bit further as well. But what would it depend on to motivate you guys to ask for a change of venue?
There are specific factors that we have to look into, that we actually have to do research on before we could bring that motion to court. As an officer of the court, we are bound from bringing frivolous motions, and so we want to ensure that there is at least some basis for that. I will point out that as you all have been covering this case, I too have been reading everything that you folks have been producing. But specifically, I would direct you to that Robert Mistrial case. I did read an article several years ago that indicated that I guess at the time of the hearing that the court was able to establish that 72 to 79% of the county either were aware of the case, had an opinion about that case, etc. Again, these are motions that are not granted often, and so a lot of times attorneys have to go back to the cases before us to determine how something can be brought about.
I would think the sentiment from both of us is, as pleasant as this has been, we'd rather not be doing this. We'd rather not be thinking about a change of venue. We'd rather just getting ready for a case, going before a jury and trying it. I think that would be our preference. I think in this one instance, because of the unique circumstances that got us here, we wanted to make this statement to point some things out before kind of shutting it down and doing it in trial like it should be done.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Okay, thank
Can I
you.
have one up first before we start the process?
Here's a passive income online business that you haven't heard.
Okay, guys, so that's going to be it with that video. Thank you, Mama Cinco, for joining us here on the platform and for helping out as much as you could.
You're welcome.
Let's make sure to let Mama Cinco know that she's appreciated. Thank you for doing that. All right, guys. So this is their defense attorneys. So I don't expect them to go on the news and say, yeah, they're guilty. They did it. No, these guys are going to, I guess, do whatever. I mean, I think I couldn't take their job, put it that way. I couldn't be a public defender or whatever you want to call them, and knowing that somebody's sitting across from me did something horrible to these kids and then sit there and just act like they didn't for a check, for a paycheck, you know? So I couldn't take that job. I couldn't do it. I would end up saying some crazy shit in court like they did it. They did it. But yeah, they're not going to do that. So instead, they're going to paint that picture that, well, I already know what they're going to do. I already know exactly what they're going to try to pull off in that courtroom. And once they are given a little bit more, that's why I keep telling you guys, you got to wait until it gets into the court. Once they're given a little bit more, then I'm pretty sure these guys are going to start, backpedaling a little bit. Right now, they're trying to push it off on, there's a re-election, they jumped the gun, they shouldn't have. In so many words, they might as well came out and said that. But this North Star thing, election, whatever. But yeah, I know. Most defense attorneys don't ask their clients if they're guilty. I know. You guys know the story that Trezel and Jaqueline gave on the news, so they can't backpedal out of that. They told that story on the news, and all of us seen that about them in the backyard gathering wood. Jaqueline goes on to say that they searched and that she searched, and no, we know they didn't search. So that video shows a lot on what they didn't do. Now, you know how a lot of us, there's something else that's going to be coming out real soon too about California City. A lot of people believed, and I did too, that John Walker, the chief, was dirty. Come to find out, he's not dirty. I've seen proof of it with my own eyes. Chief John Walker tried to get funding to help investigate this case even more, and he got denied the funding. He wanted to have an outside agency investigate the California City Police Department, and guess what? It was denied. He knows that there's dirty cops in California City, and that's the reason why he wanted that department to be investigated, but it got denied. I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes. So Chief John Walker actually did the best that he can do with what he had. That guy actually cares about the public, the citizens of California City. Not just, well, it wasn't that he quit. It's more like he got pushed out. And in my honest opinion, all the residents in California City, if you guys want a good chief that actually cares about you, the people, you better start standing up and pushing for him not to retire. Because when he retires, you guys got nothing but pure shit in your town running that police department. I'm going to say it straight out. There's some dirty cops out there, and John Walker knows it. And that's why he wanted an outside agency to investigate. But of course, no, we're not going to do that, John. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. You investigate yourselves, and then you find yourselves innocent. No, he wanted an outside agency. John Walker is also the person who called the FBI and told them, I need help on this case. It meets all the criteria for the feds to get involved. And because the boys were foster kids. So you guys know, man, you guys know that I've been on top of this, man, for day one. And you don't have to just sit in here, Mama Cinco, if you don't want to. You could back out if you want to. If not, you can stay. Did you want to stay?
Okay. Sure.
Okay. All right. So from day one, so you guys know that I'm not just gonna, oh, here, let me just throw something out there. Hell no. Like, we love the boys 100%. We want the boys to get justice. All right. So we started looking into all kinds of stuff. Come to find out, the cops that I was told were good cops are actually the dirty cops. It's not that John Walker wants to resign. What are you supposed to do when you're filled with corruption around you? Now, if John Walker is actually on here watching this live, what I would do is this, John. Stand your ground, expose those tyrants, show the proof, and get them the hell out of your department. Because once you're gone from Cal City, you truly care about the residents and the people in that town, you're leaving them open for free game. And I already know who's trying to run for chief next, because he showed up out there to Cal City. He showed up out there for the boys thing yesterday. He was out there with his trophy wife on his arm. So, nah. So, Chief John Walker, man, he actually did the right thing, guys. He really did. I seen it. I seen the evidence, guys. I seen everything. So, with that said, I don't believe that the district attorney is, I don't believe the district attorney is actually, how should I word this? there's enough evidence. They're not going to blow this case. They're not going to blow it, guys. Do you know what will happen to her career if they blow this case? If they jump the gun like these attorneys are trying to say so? Do you guys know what happens to her career? Everybody's going to hate her. Everybody will hate her for blowing this case. Now, I wish to God I could tell you guys so much more. And I had people leave me some nasty comments last night. Well, what the fuck, Steve? Why didn't you say blah, 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 blah? Well, listen, there's a lot of people that got their hearts involved, and everybody deserves to know it's a time for mourning, folks. It's a time for shedding those tears, man, and praying for the courts to bring forth every last piece of information, of proof, and pray that they actually look. I can't say that. Is it really justice for someone to get 15 years? Even if they double that, give them 30 years, good behavior, out in 14, maybe 13. Is that justice for 2 lives of classic and sincere? Is that really justice? Because that's what it's going to be. You think that's justice for Miss Ryan Dean? Huh? She has to go the rest of her life without her baby boys because of these monsters. And so is that justice? I don't believe that's justice. I just don't know, man. I just don't know. But I do know that a lot more. You guys hear Shadow? Listen to that guy. A lot more stuff is going to be coming out, guys. A lot. There's a lot more. And it will come out. There's no way they're going to throw this case. I mean, that would be so stupid and foolish of them to do something like that. There would never be no rest in Kern County if they did something like that. There will never be no rest in the damn world. Everybody that knows about it. So, no, I can't see them doing that. Kenda, thank you for that. Appreciate you. Now, I'm going to be reading through your comments. I've been doing it right now, but they're moving kind of fast. So, Jessica, yes. Shadow does agree. It is an insult to the boys. No telling as of yet. It is an insult to the boys. Now, I'm not saying that the cops could possibly be involved with this. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is there are dirty cops out there in California City. See, that there's this I don't know if I should even get into that, but John Walker's a good guy, man. He's a good guy. And I actually apologized to him to his face for making that video about him being in the movies and stuff like that. But anytime you have a good person around a bunch of evil, if you don't stand and have backbone, they're going to push you out. Sometimes people just give up. I'm just not going to do it. I can't do it. I got to get out of here. It's too much of it. And then they just run from it. But you can't, because then they win. You just got to keep pushing forward, man. And if the citizens of California City would all stand up together and back up John Walker, I'm pretty sure he might change his mind. Terry G2G, thank you. I think CPS needs to be sued. I believe that CPS needs to not just be sued, they need to be like really, really looked into, like a very deep investigation. There is some crazy stuff going on with them. But it's for sure, guys. The babies are gone, guys. They're gone. Gone. Like gone. Okay? So all these sightings wasn't true. It wasn't fact. That doesn't mean that people were lying. They just might have been a kid that might have resembled one of them, and maybe the person thought that's what was going on, but any questions? Where's Jamal? I don't know. Yes. Rose. Wait a minute. I just seen something right now. Hold up. Wait. Something about a grand jury. Boom. Let me put down the screen. My defense attorney friends have said grand jury doesn't mean much to them because it is a one-sided presentation of evidence. Gotcha. Right. That makes sense. That right here was way before this happened. What actually happened to them? Well, I can't say way before, but it was a little before. Angela says that Trezel West should be in jail for 100 years for his life. Right. It's not just Trezel. You guys seen the indictment forms, right? Go back and read the indictment forms again really good and look at the second degree murder charges. Look at the penal codes. It's a second degree murder charge, but the penal code is actually different too. There's two different penal codes. And that's for a reason. So you guys just go back and look at that. It is for a reason. And let me see here. We have just kind of give me a second, guys. Give me a sec. Okay, we have a penal code of section 192.7 C1, and that's 187 murder of Orrin West. So we'll put the Orrin West one here, and then we'll do Orson West. Okay, where did it say that at? Wait a minute, I think I'm reading it wrong. Hold on. 187A, and then there's 187A for the rest. Wait a minute, it says it's somewhere on here. I was talking to Crenshaw last night, and she pointed that out, and I was like, So you guys just look over the forms again, and there is a different California 4.42. Let me see here. So if you hear, let me see here. It's alleged that defendant Trezel West and Jaqueline West committed a crime that involved great violence, threat of great bodily harm, or other acts disclosing a high degree of cruelty and viciousness. Rules of Court 4.42A1. Give me a second, guys. I'm looking over something real quick. Two A1. Rules of 42A1. A3. Wait a minute. You know what? As soon as I find it, I'll let you guys know. But it's gonna all come out in court. All of it, guys. And I know all of you guys want to know. You just gotta know that the main priority is the boys and them getting some type of justice, guys. So we can't do anything at all to cause any type of harm at all to this case, guys. At all. You guys already see that these defense attorneys are already trying to paint a certain type of picture. Can you guys imagine if something got leaked out there? Then they say, oh, guess what? This should not have been out there. So we can't do that. Can you guys, understand what I'm trying to say or what? Can you guys let me know in the chat if you do? You're absolutely right. These babies have brought us all together. It's absolutely true. It really hurts, guys. It hurts. And so I don't, you know what, guys? Look, I know a lot of people are always telling me thank you and everything like that. I'm sure all of you guys would have helped if you were in the same situation, right? So I felt compelled to find out the truth and find out, what's going on. So that's all I could say. That's all I could do. I know if somebody was taking the time out of their life to help me and my family, I would never, ever, ever cuss those people out. I would never make them feel like shit. I would never look at them in a messed up type of way. I would never sit there and give them dirty looks because I know that those people don't have to help me. Those people don't have to drive hundreds of miles to come and help look for some kids that don't belong to them. So that's just me. So we just have to stick together, man. Those boys became all of our family members. So we are all family. Blood don't make you family. I mean, I got family that's blood that I probably never talked to my whole life again. I got friends that are more family than some so-called family. Family will show up to a birthday party maybe one or two times, but you have everybody at your funeral, though. You got people showing up to your funeral you ain't never seen in years and years and years and years. All of a sudden, they want to be there, just out of the blue. Oh, I need to be there now. Like what? So, that's just how it is, man. We are all the boys' family. They got a bunch of uncles. They got a bunch of aunts. They got a bunch of everything. Sisters, brothers, everything. appreciate that, Michelle. Thank you. Thank you for your super chat. I appreciate you guys. Anybody that's helping out like that, I appreciate it. I'm not going to be on here that much longer, guys, but I just wanted to let you guys know that I can't just come out and say everything, guys. You know, you guys get what I'm saying, right? But I do love you guys, and I thank you guys for all being here. An eye for an eye, says Tammy. Yeah, court's tomorrow. So before we get off, if you guys want to fill up the chat with a bunch of blue hearts, feel free to do so. And I'll do the best I can before the night is over to go live again. I'll do the best I can to do that, guys. And if it's not tonight, then it'll be tomorrow on the drive to Bakersfield. Oh, yeah. Here, Roro says, as long as they're really for the boys, they won't get cussed out playing with my cousins. But if they for the boys, thank you. That's some true shit. Truest stuff ever said. You guys make sure you show Rose some love. Okay, where's the other one at? Oh, please don't. Here we go. We want them to stay behind bars. Do you guys actually feel, let me ask you guys a question, right? Do you guys actually feel like if Trezel and Jaqueline, let's just say they got 30 years, right? Do you guys actually feel like that's justice? Oh, hell yeah. Look at this one. Sweet, I know. Do you guys actually feel like that's justice? Miss Connie, thank you. No. Hell no. Everybody's saying no. And you know what? I know we always bring up Miss Ryan Dean, but also the boys' dads, man, like them too. I don't know why the world's always like that, though. We always focus on like the mother and not the dads and stuff like that. But you know what, man? We got to start doing that. So can you imagine what their dads are going through? That, you know what? Being a father, right? Knowing that somebody hurt your child, there's just some shit that like I can't even say it, but you can't do that. You just can't do that. You know what I mean? Like I already know that is deep, man. That's deep. You got it. I'm already knowing, but I'll speak for myself. Somebody hurt one of my babies, they ain't making it to no motherfucking court. That's a fact. So I couldn't deal with that, man, at all. So you guys keep the bio dads in your prayer as well, and Miss Ryan Dean, and Ro, and her family. I mean, they're all going through it, man. Let me see. What's that say? Yep. There you go. All right, guys. I do thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys. Here, let me put this up on the screen real quick. That's right, Car Thief News. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're their protectors, right? We're a child's protector, right? So, and you have these dirty people from CPS that just come in and steal your children from you. That should be straight trafficking charges. If they don't have nothing and you've been found innocent for something, but yet they come back later on, that should be straight up trafficking. And those DCFS workers and whoever was involved, they should be held accountable. Like, you need to go to jail for this. You need to go to jail. Like, you straight up took these kids. That's crazy. But of course, that won't happen, right? It's a big old money making, moving train of money. All right, guys, I will see you soon. Much love and respect.